Okay, let's go 5 through 1.
Yep.
Starting out with number 5, who do you like?
Yeah, no, I like Quadri Olison, okay? And I'm probably messing up his name. Quadri Olison, I should say. But this is a different type of running back. You don't see these kind of running backs every day in it.
Different how?
Different how? Because he's a big man. This is, you got to think of almost a Latavius Murray, Le'Veon Bell type of build out of this player. And he has a similar playing style to those two guys as well.
And from an old school offense at Pittsburgh as well.
Old school offense that runs the ball downhill, guards pull. They depended on him not only for, you know, a lot of rushing attempts, but to make big plays. I was extremely impressed with him. I mean, this is the biggest thing with him. For a guy that's 230 pounds and right around 6'2", feet are phenomenal. I mean, we're talking like phenomenal quick feet. I think about guys like Stephen Davis back in the day for the Carolina Panthers who came out of Auburn, but really like a dancing bear, a guy that you go, how quick and fast can this guy be? And then you see him make a linebacker miss at the second level, catches the ball smoothly. Paul, we followed him in Notre Dame. I mean, if you watch film leading up to that and what he did, can break big runs.
He was their offense.
He was their offense. He was their go-to guy. I thought he was extremely impressive. It's rare to have a big back like this, maybe in the top 5 always, but I think his movement skills, change of direction, ability to break tackles, all of that completely justify him as a top 5 running back.
Is he for everybody, or is he for a specific team who wants a big between the tackles back?
Yeah, I do think he is for everybody. Now, you have to depend, that again, we'll go back to the roster and who you got at the running back position. You know, are you a team that values big running backs and you go, okay, we got a lot of these scat backs, third down backs, we need a bigger back? Then, yeah, you can bring him in there and make him your #1 guy. Or you could do like New England Patriots style, where they've done and gone, all right, we got Deion Lewis, but here it's the 4th quarter and we got a lead here and we want to start pounding a team away between the tackles. He could be that guy that comes, you know, as the second part of the running back duo off the bench, who can not only make plays, but I think wear teams out and play ball control type football.
Okay, I like your 5.
Yep.
Who do you like it for?
Miles Sanders, Penn State. Okay, this is one of the pleasant surprises of the draft to me right here. I mean, a guy that I wasn't expecting a lot out of. I guess.
Why?
I guess because
he's not Saquon?
He's not Saquon,
yeah.
Exactly right. I know, and you know, I didn't get to see a lot of Penn State football through the year, but I think what I saw from Miles Sanders, the first thing I thought of, and a guy you talked about off air, Chris Carson, right, from the Seattle Seahawks. I see a lot of this type of guy, a guy that's just absolutely reckless and fearless with his body as far as contact goes, but maybe not as powerful as Chris Carson, but better quicks, better long speed than a Chris Carson. So a little more explosive in the open field, I want to say, but really has a unique ability. And when I say this, I say he can be a zone runner, right? And then I almost want to stand up just to explain. He can be a zone runner who kind of, okay, I'm going to take the ball and just kind of be patient, Le'Veon Bell style, and wait for my hole, and then just bam, stick my foot in the ground and hit that hole when I see it. Or he could be, okay, it's a pulling guard. There's going to be no nonsense. I'm going to take the ball downhill and just go 1,000,000 miles per hour towards the line of scrimmage and see where it goes from there. And I like the fact that he's a little bit versatile in either scheme. He can catch the ball well. He doesn't get a ton of catches, but it looks very natural to me. Yeah, he was an impressive, not a game breaker type of player, but a guy that can get 40-yard runs from time to time, but certainly get a whole lot of 6, 7, 8-yard type of runs. I thought he was pretty damn good.
Do you think what you just mentioned, that just that basic human emotion reaction after Saquon Barkley comes out, you're like, oh, I guess I'll watch the Penn State kid. There's no way he's as good as Saquon Barkley. Do you think that element of surprise that you felt is working in his advantage, or could work in his advantage throughout the league?
I do. I think a lot of people are going to turn it on and go, well, I mean, I watched Saquon last year. I mean, this kid didn't really get in a whole lot. He can't be that special. And, I didn't hear a lot of buzz about him during the year. So, yeah, this is one of those things where I think people will turn on the film and go, oh, okay, whoa, I wasn't quite expecting this. Hey, when you're taking, 60, 70-yard touchdown runs against some of the competition he played in the Big Ten, that opens my eyes up anytime, because the Big Ten right now is a very good football conference. There's a lot of pros that are trying to chase him down, and he's outrunning them.
All right, we have 5 Olison, 4 Sanders, working our way up to 3. Who's that guy?
Yeah, number 3. This is DARRELL Henderson from Memphis.
I've heard very good things.
Yeah, and you whoever was telling you is telling you right. Whoo, man, this guy's lightning in a bottle, okay? This is probably the guy, maybe the most dangerous guy in space in the NFL draft. When I think about a guy like him, the first guy that kind of comes to my mind, you saw Denver Broncos this year, right? Phillip Lindsay. I would go, this is the kind of player he is, except maybe a little bit more power and better quickness in space. Maybe not quite the burner straight away that a Phillip Lindsay is, but Henderson is, a weapon this day and age in the NFL.
Catches the ball.
Catches the ball.
Block.
Can really run routes. A true football player, yes, can block, can do everything that you want as far as out of a running back. And I think he's the type of guy, too, Paul, that can be, okay, he can be our bell cow a little bit. He's very good at avoiding car crash hits for a smaller guy because he is 5'8". He's right around a little over 200 pounds. So forget about what he can do there. But the thing that also impressed me, again, he could run jet sweeps. You could line him up at slot receiver. The things I saw when they got in empty formations and had him run routes. He could be a special route runner as well, let alone a game breaker, screen game, things like that. In space, it's off the charts.
Okay, so
it's phenomenal.
After listening to all this praise, this
Yes.
is the point of your list, and I always come to this where
Yeah.
I say, why isn't he ranked higher?
Yeah, again, because the two guys that are in front of him are pretty impressive.
Is there anything about Darrell where you're hedging your bets, whether
No,
it's
I
his
think
size or something you've
The
seen?
size would be probably the one thing that concerns
You said
me.
5'8"?
Yes, 5'8". At first I thought, ooh, okay, is this guy, can he be a bell cow type running back? Will he be explosive in
you
week
say
12?
yes?
I do think yes. And then I also questioned, okay, the competition he's playing here. I'm not sure, but then he gets on the field with teams like UCF, who I know, University of Central Florida, who have professional defensive backs, and I see him running for 50 and 60-yard touchdowns and making people miss and highlight real runs. Then I go, okay, no, this is legit, this kid. He plays faster than his 4.48 combine speed. And, he's a good player.
You think he'll be around after round 2?
I think he is going to be a debatable late second round pick, right around that range. I think he is definitely worthy of that type of what do I want to say, pick or play or whatever the hell I'm trying to say.
Sounds like he could be value in the second or third round,
Yeah,
or who
yeah.
knows, maybe even higher. All right, second-rated running back is?
My second-rated running back is RYQUELL Armstead. I almost messed up the name. This is, to me, I wasn't expecting this. This is probably the most pleasant surprise that I got out of all the guys. 5'11", 220 pounds, okay? If I painted the picture for what he is, he's got a running style that's very similar to Rashad Penny, who was drafted in the first round by the Seattle Seahawks last year. Almost a Leonard Fournette type of running style.
Is that big?
He's 220 pounds, not quite as big as Fournette, who was about 232, 230 when all said and done. And I'm not trying to say he's quite as talented as Leonard Fournette. He was special.
Physically looks the part.
But he physically looks the part, has a similar style in which he runs, has a little bit of the pitter-patter feet that I like. For a bigger running back, first of all, his acceleration to the hole is top-notch. When he hits the hole, he is going full speed, and good luck trying to tackle him. But yes, his ability to, he's not a jump cut guy, but his ability to just use really extremely quick feet and dance around would-be tacklers or make them miss just enough to where an arm gets on you and then he runs through that arm tackle. He's pretty special in open field. And again, I look at ACC football and so, or not he's AAC, I believe, football.
Yep.
But some of the competition he played, again, I look at games like Boston College and other things like that where I go, no, this is one of the most impressive physical specimens on the field. Can run with power, can make you miss, and can take the ball to the house on a 60, 70-yard touchdown run.
What's the one quality that you remembered? You mentioned a few, and you also said you were pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
That made you sit up right away and say, this guy's a lot better than I thought.
No, it was the first play. The first play I turned on the film, I said, holy crap, who was the blur on the screen? It was just the veracity and acceleration to the line of scrimmage where I looked at that and said, whoa, I had maybe watched 4 or 5 other guys before him, so I got a good gauge of what the speed is you're looking at. And all of a sudden I turn his film on and I see the way he gets to the line of scrimmage, how quickly he gets to the second level when there is a hole there, or his ability to make things happen when nothing is there too. That's a big thing in evaluating.
Right.
You know, where I look at it and go, oh, there's no hole. He got 3
Which
yards.
happens all the time.
Right. Oh, there's no hole. He bounced outside and got 20.
How's he catch? How's he block?
He catches really well. Blocking, top notch. Catching, doesn't get a ton of it, but just from the catches I saw, it wasn't work. It was natural. I really thought with really all the guys in my top 5, I thought all of them have all the ability to catch the ball and be on the field in third down and be a reliable target in the pass game.
All right, no surprise now because we haven't heard his name. We've talked about Alabama.
That's right.
Josh Jacobs is your #1 back.
Yeah.
The way you describe #3 Henderson and 2 Armstead, you must like Jacobs a whole lot.
Yeah, this is the cream of the crop, and I don't give a damn about his pro day and that he ran 4.6.
4.6.
Yeah, no,
him.
you know, because hey, again, you know, you have to take a little bit. It's a balance as far as scouting or evaluating football players. I can just say this: the SEC is by far the best conference in college football. It's not really close. NFL defensive linemen, NFL linebackers, NFL safeties, DBs, games against Clemson, it doesn't matter. His movement, his explosion, his acceleration, it's elite. He kind of stands above the rest as far as the running back group. I do think that he's unquestionably a first-round talent. You know, whether he goes top 20 or somewhere between 20 and 30, I don't know. But this is what I would say. He's better than Sony Michel coming out last year.
Late
and he's
first.
got less than wear tear, right?
Yeah.
And Sony Michel went in the end of the first round to the New England Patriots. I would say this would be my best pro player comparison. He's an Alvin Kamara, except he's more explosive and has better power. I really think he could be used in that way in the NFL. But his ability to weave through traffic between the tackles, make people miss and break ankles in space, the ability to stop and then re-accelerate is on another level. He can go full speed through a hole, Paul, turn on the brakes, make a linebacker miss, and then get right back up to full speed in 2 steps again. And those are the things that are needed in the NFL to take you to the next level as an elite type running back. And I think he's an elite type talent.
Let's assign these names and these specifics we've been listening to the last few minutes to that question I asked you a little while ago.
Yeah.
Let's say you're picking in the 20s.
Right.
You want a running back. You know Josh Jacobs is the best back in this draft. You're surprised he's there in the mid-20s. Are you using your pick on him? Or are you looking at the rest of this list and going, you know what, let's go somewhere else and get one of these quality backs in the 3rd or 4th? I guess, is Jacobs good enough for a first-round pick?
No, he is. He is.
You would take him there.
And that's a very good question because you're right. You're going to have to, especially when I talk about how good the rest of the group is and there's talent. But, yes, I think he is talented enough and stands out from the rest of the group enough in a way to where he is worth it. I mean, the power is off the charts. You know, catching the football, ability to make people miss in space. You know, hey, maybe I'm not shocked that he ran 4.6. I thought he would have ran maybe a 4.5, a mid 4.5. What I would really want to know is what was his 10-yard split, things like that. He's going to be really impressive in a lot of 10 and 20 and 25-yard runs.
Because you mentioned how important the acceleration to the hole was in your film watching.
It's extremely important because it's just, you know, again, the NFL, everything gets so much tougher. You know, oh, I made a guy miss, and by the time you're shaking down the next guy to make another guy miss, the first guy's caught you from behind and makes the tackle. So you got to be able to make people miss and explode upfield in a hurry, and that's what I saw from him. I think that really set him apart. He understands how to set up blockers, Paul. He's really good. Oh, the guard's pulling. Let me get on the outside edge of him, make the guy commit to the outside, and then set it up to where the guard can take him on, and now, bam, I cut inside and make a big play that way. I think all of those things, jump cuts, and people, if you want to know what I mean by jump cuts, okay, jump cuts are like
Don't blow a knee or an Achilles.
I won't, and I'm
please.
not going to actually jump, okay?
Right.
I mean, but either way, when I talk about a guy who can jump cut, he can be in the hole right here and go, oh, the hole is gone, there's nothing there, and basically just jump over to the next gap or the next hole, and bam, I mean, it's like lightning. And that's where I think he is a special football player. Added to the fact, it's like a dream come true. They let Damian Harris just get abused, and he didn't have to run the ball that much.
Right.
To where you go, damn, we're getting for Alabama, we're getting a really fresh running back that hasn't had a lot of wear and tear on his tires.
Right. So you'd rather have Josh Jacobs in the 1st than Harris in the 5th?
I would. Okay. Yes. Yeah, I do. And hey, listen, there's going to be a lot of running backs down in that range that I will not be shocked that one day that we're sitting here talking about going, damn, he's a hell of a football player. But I think that Josh Jacobs has a different skill set that, you know, is unique even for the running back position. And I think it's a little bit better than the normal guy that's coming out.
Let's take a look at the lists, 1 through 5 or 5 through 1 there. Now, as we look at the names there, your top 5 backs, as a group, you say this is better than what we've seen in the past?
I think so. Yeah, I do. I think it's maybe not as many superstars and names that we've heard about because it's schools like Temple and Memphis and Pitt where, yeah, they're not on college or national TV every week throughout the year. But, yeah, I mean, the one thing I think I just noticed from all these guys, how complete they are as players. That's where I was impressed with, too. You know, sometimes you watch a guy and go, oh, he's only good between the tackles, or he's only good when he's on the outside edge of the defense. Right. You know, these guys, pass protection, check. You know, catching the ball, check. All of them are pretty good route runners, check. Okay. You know, running with power, yeah, okay. Running and making people miss in space, got that. So I think there's, you know, them, you know, and then you talk about guys like Damian Harris, the other running back at Alabama. He's a fringe guy you would have thought about having in this conversation. You know, there's I'm blanking on some of the other guys that I want.
While you think of it, I'm going to mention the names for everybody listening on the podcast instead of watching on YouTube. Number 5, Ollison from Pittsburgh. 4, Sanders, Penn State. 3, Darrell Henderson from Memphis. 2, Armstead from Temple. And number 1, Josh Jacobs, Alabama.
Yes. Yep. And, hey, I mean, all impressive, I think so. I'm just trying to go through my brain. You know, hey, there's the guys, the Justice Hill. There's the kid down in Miami that I thought was extremely impressive. Travis Homer. Hey, Dexter Williams from Notre Dame. We've seen him make a lot of big runs. You know, so there is guys to find in the middle of this draft that can make a lot of big plays for any offense who decides to draft them. But I think the 2 guys, Josh Jacobs, I explained a lot about what makes me excited about him, and the man RYQUELL Armstead. I just think, you know, had it all. The quickness, you know, it was just barely below the quickness of Jacobs or Henderson, who don't really have the same power running style that he has. Always falls forward. Armstead, I'm talking about, and I put value into that. You know, his bad runs are gains of 2, gains of 3. There is something to that because if I'm an NFL evaluator, I want to go, okay, if we don't have a hole, I don't want to be stuck in 2nd and 12 or 2nd and 13. Can he make us make positive yards and keep us in good situations? And that's part of the evaluation process, too.
I always feel like for the running backs, too, that it's the second most difficult position for rookies to make the adjustment to, because when it comes to the pass protection and the adjustments made at the line of scrimmage, obviously it's the quarterback who has to do that and make those calls. But the running back, I mean, he could be doing 10 different things, and within a couple seconds, he has to recognize that and do it. So in addition to everything else you talked about,
no doubt,
those guys have to be intelligent and quick learners too.
Yeah, they do. It's a different day and age in the NFL, and yeah, just think about it. Running back, you're sitting there in shotgun, and you're going, okay, we're in 2-jet protection. Oh, okay, I got, you know, the strong side linebacker in 2-jet. All of a sudden, the quarterback calls an audible or changes the protection. All of a sudden, you're going, oh, gosh, wait. Okay, wait. Oh, I got this guy now. And, you know, all of a sudden at the snap, now it's a free safety blitzing, and your rule changes again. You go, wait, coach told me to pick up any secondary blitzers. So you got to be smart.
And a lot of players aren't doing that in college now because of it's getting signaled in from the sideline.
It's the game has become elementary in college. I mean, you're right. I mean, there's only one pass protection that's being used a lot of the times. The rules are easy for the running backs in these scenarios a lot of times. And yes, they're not even having to process information coming out of the huddle. They're just, you know, let's fake the snap. What did my running back coach on the sideline say I'm going to do here? Okay, I'm doing that, and then you just go do it. And yes, there's just more to the game mentally in the NFL aspect as compared to college.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.